Hey guys, what's cracking? Godsman here, coming at you with another V Fight Night. Next up on the V Revival chopping block is quite the interesting battle because it's a battle between iconic G-era villains. That's right. Up in the top corner, bearing the red gloves, we've got the man noir himself, bearing Shiranui out on the prowl here of all things. Not exactly your most typical clan, is it, man?
No, actually, I think this might be the first time I properly touched Nubatama in general, so I'm excited because I did give it a test run the other day. It's pretty interesting. I'm actually rather fond of it now, so this should be fun.
Hell yeah, man. And down in the blue gloves, we've got yours truly once more. Also very excited for this one. Now, I'm no stranger to Gear Chronicle, especially Chronofang Tiger. He was one of my favorite G decks, absolutely, and to this day remains the coolest version of Gear Chronicle ever. So I am super excited to show you guys how we managed to revamp this entire archetype and set it on the right track for V Revival here. And now, having gotten that all the way, introductions aside, are you ready?
I am indeed.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Za. Vanguard. Konotigar.
Ninu Madoi.
I'll take first. Draw. From my hand, I ride Steam Fighter Nanea. Drawing one card, and energy generator set. I'll pass the turn.
Sando no Doro. Raido. Stealth Rogue of a portion. Sadamune. First we get the energy generator before I forget. Now, Madoi's skill. Draw one. And we get to add a quick shield to my hand. Because we went second. Or more specifically, because you have a grade 1 or greater Vanguard. We have to specify that now because of standard starters. Anyway. Sadamune's skill. One place, I can look at the top 7 cards of my deck. And we get to add one Shiranui to my hand. I will add Jagameo Shiranui Mukuro.
Ooh, I see. So this is your true form Diff Rider?
Oh, you'll bear witness to it soon enough. Now, we'll just swing for a nice 8k to Vanguard.
I don't guard that attack.
Drive check. Kritika trigger. All effects to Vanguard.
The first check. No trigger. The second check. No trigger.
Endo.
All right. Stand and draw. Energy charge 3. From my hand, I ride Steam Links Adadapura. Steam Fighter Nanea skill. From my hand, I bind one card of my choice. Bind Steam Maiden Lucina Bell. And then, in exchange, from the deck straight to my hand, I add the Avatar of Space Time. My very other soul. Chronofang Tiger G.
Interesting. I think the Japanese, when he said Avatar of Space Time, he said?
Well, that's what I call him anyway.
Yeah, I think the Japanese way to say it is like Jiku no Bunshin.
Interesting. Now, Adadapura's skill, as well as the skill of Lucina Bell. Lucina Bell, when bound by an ability, if I had a card with Chronofang in my Vanguard circle or in my soul, I could get an effect, but it's not quite there yet, so ignore it for now. Adadapura, however, with his axe skill, Counterblast 1, bind a card from the top of the deck. I draw one card. Alright. And then... Let's call Steam Knight Mudar and Steam Fighter Nanea.
Over the top of the deck.
Yep. Steam Knight Mudar attacks.
This is just 10k, right?
Yes.
I will guard with my quick shield.
In which case, Adadapura with support from Nanea for 18.
Nogado.
And the drive trigger check. Steam Fighter Nanea.
Damage check. No trigger.
I end my turn.
Stando Ando Doro. Raido, stealth rogue of departed soul, Toranaga. And when placed on the Vanguard circle, I can Energy Blast 3 to draw 1. I'll just simply Energy Blast 3 I would have charged. And then draw.
That's quite the hand.
Oh yes. I'll put it to very good use.
Indeed, you play well, Diff Rider. In Vanguard, your skills and your will is what expresses your right to exist. It's true justice in this world. If you were a weak opponent, then you wouldn't be worthy of this trial.
It's that very nature that binds and shackles our wills, which is why I'll do away with it. But for now, we'll just simply swing for 9,000 to your Vanguard. One trigger will pass.
I don't guard that.
Drive check. No trigger.
I see.
It appears that fate you speak of has favored you in this moment.
But of course, in search of the perfect future, all things will go as planned. All things will come my way. Rebellious fangs, carve through and become a pilgrim of the perfect future. I ride! Chronofang Tiger G. Got it. Imaginary gift? It's Force 1. I'll place Force 1 on my right front row circle. Next. That's very interesting. You've kept your field to a minimum. Perhaps you knew ahead of time that I had the ability to get rid of rear guards. Well, no matter. If that was all I was relying on, then I could hardly be called a fighter. There are other means to win in this deck. Call. Steam Fighter Nanea. Steam Links Nadine. And Gear Cat Meshing Cogs. With the Gear Cat skill, I move it to the soul. Draw one card, and granting an extra 3,000 power to a unit of my choice. I choose Nadine. And then, calling Steam Knight Mudar. Now, it's time. Chronofang Tiger, Transcend. Binding one card from the hand, I can choose a grade 4 card from my deck or bind zone. Generation Zone. Kaiho! Strido de Generation. Interdimensional Dragon, Bind Time Dragon. Bind Time Dragon. It's time for you to show your abilities. We'll start with Nadine for 13 on the Vanguards.
No guard. Damage check. Sheer trigger. Vanguard ni power plus 1. Though I don't heal.
And next,
Help me.
my next attack. Interdimensional Dragon, Bind Time Dragon, attacking with support from Steam Fighter Nanea. Steam Fighter Nanea has a continuous skill which grants it 2,000 power for each card in my bind zone. Furthermore, I can then activate the skill of Mudar. Mudar is going to bind himself from the rear circle in order to grant 10,000 power to my Bind Time Dragon. And by Energy Blasting 3, I can then subsequently draw a card. And then, after that, I'll activate the skill of Bind Time himself. I Soul Blast one card, and then choose a card each from my rear circle and from my hand, and bind those as well. For each 2 cards in my bind zone, you would have normally had to get rid of one of your rear guards to the bottom of space-time, but you seem to have avoided that risk. However, there's still much more I can do. With 1 or more cards in the bind zone, I can draw a card. With 3 or more cards in the bind zone, 10,000 power and a critical goes to my Bind Time Dragon. And then with 5 or more in the bind zone, +1 drive to bind Time Dragon. And if that wasn't enough, Steam Fighter Nenea now gains plus 12,000 power continuously because of this, and with 6 or more in the bind zone, Nenea also cannot be chosen by effects. Now then, in total, Bind Time Dragon is attacking for 35,000, supported by 20,000. Grand total is 55,000 power with a critical and 3 drives on your Vanguards.
Vanguard. Self-Roga Veils, Kurenai.
And now for the triple drive. First check. That'll be a critical trigger. All effects to Steam Knight Mudar. Second of check. Bind Time Dragon. Third check. Nadine. There are no triggers. And now, Steam Knight Mudar with support from Nenea, attacking the Vanguard. 30,000 power being supported by 20,000 power equals 50,000 with a critical.
I will guard with the Heal Guardian I checked, and I'll reduce that critical by 2.
Alright then. In which case, at the end of the turn, I bind Time Dragon, re-ride Chronofang Tiger, in game, Imaginary Gift Force 1 will place it on my other front row rear circle. I end my turn.
Stando and Doro. Now, Raido, Ninyu Shiranui. Imaginary Gift, Protect 1.
I see.
Now, I'll use Shiranui's skill to discard 1 card from my hand. And I shall search my deck for the true face that bears my will. Raido, Maninyu, Shiranui Oboro.
I see. So this is to be my adjudicator, is it?
Yes. Now, Imaginary Gift, Protect 1. Now then, I will counterblast 1, and then I'll discard this critical trigger to. I will bind your Adadopura in your drop zone. Let me try to do that. Yes, I can. Right, I'll bind the Adadopura in your drop zone. And now I get to call a Mask of Domination to my back row rearguard circle.
Interesting.
Specifically the center one.
But why on earth would you help me by getting a bind card in there?
Because now my Mask of Domination gains all of the original power and effects of the card I bound with this effect. Which means that now Mask of Domination is a copy of your Adadopura.
Oh, I see. And you're summarizing now you can use Adadopura's skill for your own. You do have 1 face-up counterblast after all, and I would assume binding the top card of the deck is hardly a cost for you.
Hardly. Counterblast 1, bind the top card of my deck.
Ah.
And now, I get to draw a card. Perfect. Call. Ninja. Tobitachi. With his skill, because we have this, our Vanguards have the same grade, both being grade 3, I get to Soul Blast 1 instead of Counterblast to look at the top 7 cards of my deck, pour Shiranui and add it to my hand. I will add Stealth Dragon Shiranui.
Another one of him.
Yes. Who will indeed be called here. And now, in addition, Tobitachi's continuous skill. During my turn, if I have a token unit, all the token units and this unit get power plus 5,000.
I see.
Which puts Mask of Domination at 15,000 power.
Well, anything else?
I think we'll leave it at that for now. We will swing at your Vanguard for 25, but when Shiranui attacks from the rear guard, and I have a Shiranui Vanguard, he gets additional 10,000, so this is going to be 35,000 to your Vanguard.
Activating the skill of Steam Knight Mudar. When my Vanguard with Chronofang in its name is attacked or is attacked, by binding Steam Knight Mudar, I can choose my Vanguard, and it gets 10,000 power until the end of that battle. Furthermore, once more, I Energy Blast 3 to draw a card. Guarding with Steam Bomber Deagle.
Now then, at the end of the battle, this Shiranui attacks. I can move into the Soul and draw one card. And now, while your Nanya is protected from the retire effects, Shiranui doesn't retire. You will return it to your hand. And I will choose the one behind. I'll choose this one.
Alright then.
That one returns to your hand, and then if it was returned, you choose a card from your hand and discard it.
I discard Interdimensional Dragon, Mystery Flare Dragon.
And now, because I have two Shiranuis in my soul, Shiranui Oboro's continuous skill activates. During my turn, if I have two or more cards in my soul with Shiranui in their card names, this unit gets power plus 15,000. And when my Mask of Domination token attacks, it can perform a drive check. Which means, as of now, he may only perform a single drive. But should I be able to perhaps snipe a unit with twin drive, well, that could prove rather ominous for you, wouldn't it?
Interesting. However...
So next we shall attack with 27,000 to your Vanguard.
I don't guard that attack.
Alright then. Twin drive. First check. No trigger. Second check. Doro trigger. Power to my Mask of Domination. And I get to draw one.
And now for a damage check. It's a critical trigger. All effects go to Chronofang Tiger.
Now, let's swing the Mask of Domination for 25 to your Vanguard with one drive.
Means max is 35. Alright then. In which case, I guard. Steam Dr. Enja, putting me up to 38, you won't be able to hit, even if you do get a trigger.
Well, it's another card in my hand nonetheless. Drive check. No trigger.
Alright then.
And that will end my turn. And when my turn ends, the Mask of Domination token will fade from the field.
A temporary measure.
It's now your turn.
Just like the bonds of friendship. Temporary. They can't be relied upon. Nothing can. Only the perfect future is worth obtaining. Stand and draw. Now.
That's one thing we might agree on.
Perhaps we're not so different then. Nevertheless, the battle continues. Chronofang Tiger, transcend. I bind Time Dragon from my hand, and from the bind zone, once more, Generation Stride, Interdimensional Dragon, bind Time Dragon. Activating the skill of Steam Knight Mudar from the bind zone. By counterblasting one, Mudar can superior call to battle once more. Power plus 3,000. And if that wasn't enough, Mudar's on a force marker, so total power 23,000. I call Steam Fighter Nanea and Steam Lynx Nadine. Alright then. I hope you're ready. This is where it gets severe. with support from Steam Fighter Nanea. Nadine is going to attack your Vanguard. 20,000 is being supported by 24,000. Total power 44,000.
No guard. Damage check. Critical trigger. All effects to my Vanguard.
Well then. However, because the attack hit, Nadine has a skill. I take one card from my drop zone and bind it. I choose a different card from my bind zone and return it back to my hands. Deagle to my hands. And then go. Steam Knight Mudar. 23 on my 23 on your Vanguard.
I will deign to no guard this once more. Damage check. No trigger.
And now, bind Time Dragon with support. Steam Knight Mudar skill. I bind Mudar to give 10,000 power to my bind Time Dragon. And on top of that, Energy Blast 3 to draw one card. But that's not all. Bind Time, activate your abilities. Transcend time and space in order to bring about the perfect future. Soul Blasting 1, I bind one card each from my hand and from my rear circle. And now I can activate all of Bind Time's potential. I draw a card. 10,000 power, one critical, and one drive to Bind Time Dragon. And because the opponent's at grade 3 or greater, I can choose a card from my bind zone. And depending on if it's a trigger or not, I can either activate its trigger effects by returning to the bottom of the deck, or if it's a normal unit, I superior call it to rear guard, power plus 10,000. Since you saw to it that I couldn't even heal if I wanted to, and the critical may be a little bit overkill at this stage of the game, I think I'm going to opt for superior call. So I superior call Nadine. Nadine gets 10,000 power from bind time and 10,000 power from the force marker, and Nanea's now get a total power of plus 20,000 since there are 10 cards existing in my bind zone. 28 is supporting 35. In total, this is going to be for 53,000 with a critical and a drive.
That I had this. Imaginary Gifto, Protecto. And we will discard the Shiranui overall from my hand.
Alright then. The triple drive. My first check, no trigger. My second check, no trigger. And my third check, no trigger. However, at the end of the battle, since I possess Chronofang Tiger, Counterblast 1, Superior Call, another Nadine, and Nadine now gains an extra 1,000 power for each card in my bind zone. With 9 present there, that in combination with her own force marker gives her plus 19,000 power.
For a mere 29,000.
29 on the Vanguard.
I shall not guard. Damage check. Doro Toriga. Add power to my Vanguard and draw 1, which brings me up to 32,000 power.
Nadine's skill once more. I bind one card from my drop zone, and then choose a different card from my bind zone and return it to hand in exchange. I'll bind and then add back another critical trigger to my hands. At the end of the turn, since my other Nadine can't hit, I'll stay her hand. I bind Time Dragon, and ride Chronofang Tiger G, Imaginary Gift Force 2, Force 1 I mean. It'll be once more on the Nadine that didn't hit. Over to you.
Alright. Stando ando Doro. Now allow me to show you the true face of domination. Raido, Jagameo, Shiranui Mukuro. Imaginary Gifto, Protecto.
Another of those pesky markers. Delay the inevitable all you want. The perfect future will come in due time.
No. Your future may come sooner than you may think. But whether it's perfect, well, I guess I'll be a matter of perspective. Activate the skill of Shiranui Mukuro. When this unit is placed by routing on a grade 3 unit with Shiranui in its card name, I may choose a card from your rearguard circle or drop zone and bind it. And I will choose to bind your Nanie.
Nanea binds. 2,000 power now goes to the other Nanea.
And that allows me to call my Mask of Domination token. However, this one is a little different, because this one will remain until the end of this fight.
Until the end of the
original
fight.
grade, power, critical, and all of the abilities of the card bound by this effect, and can attack from the back row center column. And now, instead of needing the requirement from Oboro, Mukuro will allow my token to be unaffected by my opponent's card effects, and it will always perform drive checks for the battles it attacks.
No way. So no matter what I do, it won't leave the rear circle?
No, it won't. No, it won't.
That's a problem.
Fortunately for you, my main target has only been a grade 1, so he only has 8,000 power. Of course, with Tobitachi's continuous skill, it needs another 5,000, bringing it up to 13,000. Now, let's see what we can do here. I will call Ninja Gengan. Ninja Genkai. Genkai's continuous skill he shares with Tobitachi, which means he will gain 5k, and so will my token.
18,000 now.
Yes. And when Genkai is placed, I may choose one of my rearguards and it gets boost. And I will give it to Gengan. And because I chose a unit that wasn't Genkai, I must still charge 1. And now, allow me to swap these two around. Now, I shall call Stealth Rogue of a Portion, Sadamune. With his rearguard skill, when he's placed, I may Soul Blast 1. And now, you must choose a card from your hand and discard it. And the card you discard will increase this unit's power by the shield value of that card you discarded.
Oh, I see. So you're trying to goad me into throwing down a high value target in that drop zone.
Perhaps.
I won't let it. I discard, Steam links the Dado Porter from my hand, and draw 1 card.
So it appears he will only gain 5k this turn. But that's alright. I think we'll manage. Now we'll activate the act skill Shiranui Mukuro. I can put a total of 2 cards with Shiranui in their card names from my hand or my soul to the drop zone. I shall select the Stealth Dragon Shiranui and the Shiranui Oboro in my soul and put them both into the drop zone. And now I can bind 2 additional cards from the rearguard circle or drop zone. We will bind the Adadopura you so graciously gave me,
Alright.
as well as this Nanie. And once again, the original power and abilities of all of those cards accumulate onto my Mask of Domination.
No way. They also
with that-
stack to it?
Yes. So with that, an additional 18,000 power.
But that means every turn that this fight goes on, it's just going to get stronger.
Yes, indeed.
I can't get rid of it. Tricky indeed.
Not only that, they all remain until the end of the fight. So don't think this will be over at the end of this turn. But fortunately for you, once more, I have not been able to bind the Yugioh twin drive, so he'll simply have to get by with the single drive. Oh, I'm sure we can manage just fine with this. Now then, let us proceed to battle. My Mask of Domination token shall attack you with 36,000 power. And now Gengan's skill activates. When the Mask of Domination token attacks, I can Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1. I may search my deck for up to one card with the same card name as my Vanguard and put it into my soul. I will indeed be throwing in Shiranui Mukuro.
Oh. I see.
For that, if I put a card, now this unit gets an additional 15,000 power.
And you gave it boost off of Genkai. So, that's your play then. I don't guard this attack. Hit me.
Right. Check. Kritika trigger. I will give the crit to the token and power to my Vanguard.
Alright then. Check 1. It's a heal trigger. I don't recover damage. Nevertheless, power goes to Chronofang Tiger. And my second check. No trigger.
Then we shall attack with Shiranui Mukuro for 23,000.
Interesting. On the previous turn, your Shiranui, it was a 12k base, but when it evolved to its grade 4 status, it became on equal footing with my Vanguard. I can't let this hit. I guard. Reclaim Key Draco Kid. That'll be a 2 to pass.
Tundra. Fast check. No trigger. Second check. No trigger. It appears fortune favored you there,
Of course. Like I said before, it'll always favor me. It'll favor the perfect future.
Let's see how long that lasts. We shall attack for 26,000 to your Vanguard. Would you like to give me one of your intercepts? Or will you guard from a card from your hand?
I intercept with Steam Link's Nadine.
Then Gengan shall boost, and Genkai will attack. With the boost of the base numbers is 18,000, plus an additional 20,000 from their power boost. That is 38,000.
Alright. In which case, I guard with 2 Gearcat meshing cogs.
So you survived. For now. Well, that ends my turn.
Alright. Once more, I stand and draw.
And do be aware, that my Mask of Domination token is completely protected. So don't think you can ever bot deck it for anything.
Although, that won't stop me from trying. Now, Chronofang Tiger, it's time. Transcend. Interdimensional Dragon, bind Time Dragon for the 3rd time. Lucina Bell activates when bound. I grant 3,000 power to any unit of my choice, and I think I'm going to choose my Steam Links. Furthermore, because I haven't countercharged this turn, I can then countercharge 1. And now the additional skill of Lucina Bell. Lucina Bell, Soul Blast 1 card. I superior call Lucina Bell to battle. And then, afterwards, provided that I bind a card from my hand, I can choose another card from the bind zone and call it to rear circle. Calling Steam Fighter Nanea. Steam Fighter Nanea, welcome back to the battlefield. But that's not all. Counterblast 1. With skill of Mudar, Mudar also calls itself back from the bind zone. And then from my hand, I call your dear friend Nanea. This is what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter how hard you try. The perfect future can't be avoided. Everything you do will just lead me to my dream, to the dream of mankind. An extra 22,000 power now go to each of my Nanea as there are 11 cards bound.
You have persistence. I'll give you that.
I have more than just persistence. I have a dream. It's time for battle. Steam Knight Mudar, with support from Lucina Bell, attacks the Vanguard for 31.
31. I shall guard for 28, and we intercept with Genkai for 33.
Alright then. Next. Nadine, with support. In total, Nenea is a 30k, and it's boosting a 23k. 53,000 total with Nadine, going straight to your Shiranui Mukuro.
Imagine Gifto, Protecto. You discard a Shiranui Oboro.
Alright then. Now, once more, Bind Time Dragon attacks, support from Nenea, activating skill of Bind Time. Bind Time, Soul Blast 1, and bind 1 card from my hand and also from my rear circle. So I bind Nadine from the rear circle and Adadopura from the hands. Draw 1 card. Bind Time gains an extra 10,000 power, extra critical, and extra drive. And if that wasn't enough, I could then choose a card from my bind zone. And this time, I choose Steam Dr. Enja with Enja's skill. After being bot decked, I can recover a damage. I will recover Steam Mage and Narda. Furthermore, that means an extra 10,000 power goes to my bind time. And with skill of Steam Knight Mudar, Mudar binds, granting 10,000 power to my Vanguard. And by Energy Blasting 3, I draw 1 card. This is my greatest attack that I can manage at this moment. 45,000 being supported by 30,000. Total 75,000 with a critical and an extra drive.
Imaginary Gifto, Protecto, and we will discard Shiranui Mukuro from my hand.
Check 1. No trigger. Check 2. No trigger. Check 3. It's a critical trigger. However, I'll give all effects to Vanguard. It's wasted in this scenario, but it matters not. Alright.
Can I buy my rear guards? Or bot deck my rear guards?
Yes, all your rear guards, excluding your Mask of Domination token, are bound. Okay.
Strip me of my comrades, but they'll revive in time.
I'm sure. Counterblast 1. Superior Call, Nadine, from the bind zone. As there are 12 cards in that bind zone, an extra 12,000 power to Nadine, and in addition, an extra 20,000 power from the 2 force markers. Total power 42,000, and it's attacking your Shiranui Mukuro.
Say 42,000, correct?
Mm-hmm.
We shall guard for 28, 38, and 43. With the skill of Toranaga, when he's placed on the Guardian Circle, and the Energy Blast 3 to draw 1.
Interesting. In which case, at the end of the turn, bind time, return back to the recesses of space-time. Ride, Chronofang Tiger G, Imaginary Gift Force 1, now to my left front row rear circle. I end my turn.
Stando, Ando, Doro.
Can you feel it? The chiming of fate, ticking ever closer to the end.
Huh. It appears our fate shall be decided on this turn. I call Ninju Tobitachi. Skill Soul Blast 1 to look at the top 7 cards of my deck, and add a Shiranui to my hand. It appears I do not have any left.
Ah. Perhaps that means you have no future.
Perhaps. but I'm certainly not out of options yet. We call 2 Stealth Dragon Shiranuis. Now, once again activating Mukuro's Act skill, we put the Shiranui, Stealth Dragon Shiranui and Shiranui Mukuro in my soul to the drop. And I shall bind your Nadine on the rearguard circle, and your Steam Mage Enarda in your drop zone.
Oh, fascinating. You saw I had Essential in there, and you saw to it that I wouldn't be able to combo with the Festival Collection PG.
Yes.
I see.
Now,
Even when backed in the corner, your skills do not falter. I like you.
the feeling could hardly be mutual. Now, with Tobitachi's skill, it adds another 5,000 to the Mask of Domination, and with the other additional 16,000 power from Enarda and Nadine being bound. That brings my Mask of Domination token to 47,000.
But you still lack the twin drive.
Perhaps I don't need the twin drive. I suppose we'll find out, won't we?
Bring it.
Now then. I shall attack with one Mask of Domination token of 47,000 with 1 drive.
Perfect guard. Steam Guard Castilla. By discarding 1 card from my hand, I can nullify the attack.
Twin drive. Or no, drive. 1 drive check. Forgot I wasn't attacking with my Vanguard. Drive check. No trigger. But, can you chance this one? Mukuro shall attack your Vanguard with a twin drive.
Come forth and protect me. Call the denizens of space-time under my command. Guard, Steam Mage, Enarda. By counterblasting 1, Quintet Wall. I look at the top 5 cards of my deck and call any number of them to the Guardian Circle. I call Lucina Bell, Adadopora, and Time Tracking Dragon. Total shield 30,000. You won't be able to break through this guard.
Twin drive. First check. Doro trigger. I shall add the power to my right Shiranui. And I draw 1. Second check. No trigger.
At the end of that battle, if the attack did not hit, activating skill of Enarda, by binding 2 cards from my drop zone with different grades, I can draw cards. And so I bind Adadopora and Lucina Bell. Draw 1 card.
No. My left Stealth Dragon Shiranui shall attack, and if I have a Vanguard Shiranui in its card name, he gets additional 10,000 power. This puts me at 22,000 tier 13.
22 to 13. Well, one thing to note, Adadopora, when bound, goes to my soul. 7 cards left in my deck. I'm not looking too hot. You still have a decent amount of hand left to use. How will I overcome this situation? Interesting. Alright then. I guard with Reclaim Key Draco Kid.
Alright. Now with Stealth Dragon Shiranui's skill, I'm going to put him into the soul and draw 1. And then, you choose one. You may. I return one of your rear decks to your hand. I shall return your Nanye.
Interesting.
And if I return the rear guard, then you must discard 1.
I discard Steam Knight Mudar from my hand.
Now Tobitachi boost and Overdress. Not Overdress. Ninu Shiranui attacks. This is 22 plus 8, that's 30, 35.
Interesting. I don't guard this attack. Damage check. A critical trigger. Again, it's wasted. But it doesn't matter.
Shiranui's skill. It goes to my soul, and I draw 1. And you add back to your hand, and then you must discard 1.
I discard Steam Bomber Deagle from my hand.
Mocking me, are you?
Nenea is key to my future. One of my most important pieces. Alright. And now, it's time to realize the perfect future. All things come to an end on this turn. I stand and draw. Energy Charge 3. And ride Chronofang Tiger. Imaginary Gift. Force 1. I'll grant it to Chronofang Tiger. And call Dimension Expulsion Colossus. Dimension Expulsion Skill. Soul Blast 1. I can choose any one of our rear guards on either side and put it on the bottom of the deck. If I choose my own rear guard, then I get to draw cards. So, I throw Lucina Bell to the bottom of the deck. I draw 1 card. And then, I furthermore counterblast 1 with Dimension Expulsion Colossus, and remove Chrono Tigar from the fight. My past self, you will now be removed for a greater tomorrow. I choose 2 cards from my drop zone. One of those cards are going to go into the soul, and the other one's going to go on the bottom of the deck. And this turn, my Vanguards will get triple drive. So, into the soul, I place Reclaim Key Draco Kid, and to the bottom of the deck, I also put a Reclaim Key Draco Kid. And calling from the bind zone Lucina Bell. By Soul Blasting 1, I can Superior Call her from the bind. Then, provided that I bind 1 card from my hand, I can call another card from the bind zone. So, in exchange for Steam Links, let's Superior Call from the bind zone Steam Knight Mudar. And after that, I call Steam Fighter Nenea. And another Steam Fighter Nenea. And finally, Chronofang Tiger. Break through the boundaries. Cleave through to the perfect future with my last ride. Transcend. Interdimensional Dragon, Mystery Flare Dragon. With skill of Mystery Flare Dragon, when placed, I can activate all the effects below according to the number of the sum grades of the cards in my bind zone. And I'm sure it doesn't take a mathematician to tell you that I far exceeded the 19 or more needed to activate this skill. So, Mystery Flare Dragon will gain a critical, 1 extra drive, 6 of my units will get plus 10,000 power, and at the end of the turn, provided that I discard all cards from my hand, I'll be able to gain an additional turn. So, let's calculate all bonuses. This is it, my perfect winning image. But you fought well. As a matter of fact, you remind me a lot of the Chrono Shindo kid. He also fought just as hard.
He wasn't interested.
Indeed. But he was also perhaps one of the most naive. He doesn't understand what we understand. Vanguard isn't just about fun. It's also a means to an end. Mystery Flare Dragon, with support from Nenea. Attack 35,000, supported by 48,000. Total number 83,000, with a critical and 3 drives.
Go. And the skill of Toronaga. Energy +3 to draw 1.
My. Quite the guard.
Now let me see if I calculate this right. So this Onibidoshi's skill. When your attacking unit gains a critical that wasn't from a trigger, he gets an additional 10,000 shield. This puts me at 28,000. 3 critical triggers, so that's 28. 30 at 43, another 15. That's 58, another 15. Let's see, 73. And this Toronaga puts me at 78. 88. Square. Yeah, 1 to pass. Go for it.
Triple drive. Now, show him the way out. My Vanguard. First check. There it is. All effects go to Mystery Flare Dragon. Second check. Enja. Recover 1 damage. Again, all effects to Mystery Flare Dragon. Third and final check. No trigger.
Well, damage check. No Otmiga.
Well played. And now, our perfect future has finally been realized. I don't know why you look so sad. After all, we all win now. Okay, and that's the fight. That was pretty fun to RP, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, I'll kind of start pulling shit out of my ass on the last near the end, but you know what? We made it work.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you had some guard there. I'm not gonna lie. These decks played pretty well into each other. I was a little, nervous about that Mask of Domination token, especially because I can't get rid of it. So I'm like, he's gonna get stronger. Oh, it's gonna be bad. And my cards, what's up?
Mm-hmm. One thing I'm kind of kicking myself over was that one turn where you did bind your, what was it, Mystery Freeze, I think? Mystery Flare from the drop zone. I was kicking myself a little bit, not reading the card properly to keep that from happening, but I'm just like, It's like he probably would have found a way to bind that at some point anyway, so.
Yeah, I was holding one in the hand, so when you, I was like, another way I could do it is by binding it off a Lucina Bell from the hand, because that's kind of how that works. Yeah, it's pretty wicked. This entire blueprint is really what you would consider like a slow rising tide. The more that this goes on, the longer everything just accumulates more and more power. It's insane. Like things like Nenea is really strong, but you were able to exploit some aspects of my deck pretty nicely. You were able to get a couple like really fancy rear guards there. If I had given you a grade 3, that could have been a lot worse for me. And on top of that, right? Nenea is only resistant to the field control from like retiring, right? So selecting and binding it still gets around it. Yeah. So I'm like, it was a nifty fight overall. I hope you guys agree with that sentiment, by the way. We certainly enjoyed ourselves, so we hope you also enjoyed this fight. And if you're looking forward for more fights like this, then definitely subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next time I upload one of these fight nights. We're almost done with the whole set for V Revival here, so you definitely don't want to miss out as we rampage towards our exciting conclusion. soon. But if you're looking for other Vanguard content in the meantime, then definitely check out any of our other lovely content, whether that be top 10s, discussions, anime reactions, custom reviews, the whole shebang. Check it out. And with that said, take care and God bless.
Peace.